Happy solstice. This is one of my favorite holidays. If you consider it to be a holiday, I guess it's a holiday in the original pagan view of the world, which followed the astrology because the sky was an intimate part of their lives. So the winter solstice is that time when it's the longest night, the shortest day in the northern hemisphere, and we are at the very, very beginning of the days beginning to get longer, the beginning of the coming of the light. I'm Marina Ormes here with your Astro Vibe for Thursday, December 21st. And did you know that the definition of the winter solstice, which what we know as the shortest day of the year, longest night in the northern hemisphere, of course, is reversed in the southern, but more on that later. So not only is it that, but it's also the day that the sun goes into Capricorn. And so we're getting a little bit technical here, but in astrology, we have what's called a tropical zodiac. And the tropical zodiac defines the signs, the astrology signs, the zodiac signs, the 12 signs, as based on the equinoxes and solstices as we experience them here on Earth. And so long, long time ago, at one time, the way that the equinoxes and solstices fall aligned with a particular part of the sky that was more or less the name of the constellation that sign is associated with. So over time, because everything moves in the sky, we move within our own Milky Way galaxy, and things that we see from our perspective here on Earth in terms of the distant stars changes very slowly over long periods of time. And in fact, that is one reason why we are now entering the age of Aquarius. It has to do with the relationship between the solstices and equinoxes and what we call the sidereal zodiac, or the definition of the signs as being based on the constellations. So don't worry if you didn't follow all that. The only point I'm trying to make here is that it is the shortest day of the year, and it is the day that the sun goes into Capricorn, because we are defining Capricorn as the beginning of the returning of the light. And so we see it as the first day of winter, when in fact it is the beginning of the light, the beginning of the return of the light. And it is an important time in our genetic memory, our ancestral memory of when things were the darkest, when things were the coldest, when food supplies were getting short, when it was harder to recover from illnesses. And so we sat indoors and we told stories a lot, right? And that's why we have Sagittarius at this time of year. We're inside telling stories because we're not outside planting and harvesting and attending to the things that we need to do to have food throughout the year. So kind of some of our ancestral memory and significance around this winter solstice time. And an interesting reflection is that when it is the darkest, what do we do? What are our rituals and routines and ways of celebrating? We bring in lights, we light candles, we put lights on our trees, we bring a tree indoors and we light it up. We focus on light. I mean, the symbolism there is pretty obvious, but what else do? We share gifts. We give gifts. We do rituals where we receive, where we give. We do rituals of abundance. And what is that doing? It is affirming that we will have abundance. It is affirming that at this time when things feel the most dark and the most bleak, that there is abundance in our lives. We have that heart-opening experience of receiving a beautifully wrapped gift in pretty paper, right? Why do we do that? Have you ever thought about that? Like, I mean, yeah, it's great to give gifts, and we do it at birthdays, but there's something really unique. And I'm not talking about just Christmas. I'm talking about this ritual that we have of sharing. We share food, we make cookies, it's these things that we do that affirm there is abundance and that there will be abundance for us. So enjoy that practice of giving and receiving. And it is an affirmation of good things to come. It is an affirmation that we can receive the beauty and abundance of the earth, even in the darkest of times. And then, of course, we have the light to remind us of hope, and that things always, the light always comes back, right? There are these cycles that we go through. So whatever your faith or tradition or status of your family, so some people have a lot of sadness around this time of year. So whatever is true for you, try to give yourself that light. Try to give yourself that moment of beauty and abundance and hope, because it's important. It's an important part of who we are and our wholeness and our humanness. And it's an important part of self-care, which is, of course, what we're talking about here. So we also have the beginning of the sun going into Capricorn. Interestingly enough, today the moon goes from Aries into Taurus. And so we have the moon and the sun both going from fire signs into earth signs. So we are today also shifting into an earthier, more grounded vibe. Really great for cooking, for crafts, for thinking about practical matters, and attending to whatever preparations you are working on for the holidays or for your own self-care. Take a moment to eat a good meal and really enjoy it and really take it in, or whatever is showing up for you in this day. Find a way to experience beauty and abundance and connect with the earth and connect with your body and take good care of yourself. Happy solstice. Thank you so much for being here. Check out more about me and how to work with me at astrologyheals.com. Thank you for being here and for subscribing to this YouTube channel, which really helps support my work. And I so appreciate it. And I so appreciate you. And as I've been talking about recently, my rates for working with me are going to be going up after the first of the year. So definitely check it out if you are considering giving yourself that gift. Astrologyheals.com is where you can learn more about current pricing and how to work with me. And of course, don't miss my videos on the astrology of 2024. Also, really some really great information, important information for all of us to have as we are heading toward the end of 2023 and imagining the future. All right, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for your comments and likes and sharing with your friends. And I'll see you next time with more astrology for unshakable self-care. Bye for now.